Hello. Hi, am I audible? Hello. 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 Yeah, you are audible to me. You are audible to me. Hello. Hello.
हेलो। हेलो। Good evening, everyone. As a member of the Legal Lock team, it is my absolute privilege to welcome and as a member of the Legal Lock team, it is my absolute honor to welcome an exceptional legal mind to our webinar today. Advocate Kanishka Pandey. Sir is a sought after emissary in the legal world who is also termed as a master strategist and ranked as the go to guy for matters involving intricate questions of antitrust laws, insolvency and bankruptcy, companies law, white collar crimes, and arbitration and conciliation principles. He is the managing associate at Pandey and Pandey solicitors and advocates, where he successfully leads a team of over 10 plus lawyers. He fights cases at the highest levels, appearing regularly before the Competition Commission of India, National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, Delhi High Court, and the Supreme Court of India. He is a true powerhouse, mastering major corporate battles as well as the newest areas of law like artificial intelligence, digital competition law, and data privacy. He has been trusted with some of the biggest, most famous cases of the decade, which made international headlines. He is also a highly respected author who writes for top legal journals. Sir is to us a mentor and guidepost, a trusted board member of our legal law fraternity across borders, culminating into a family of 5,000 plus members. We are incredibly and grateful to have his guidance here at Legal Lock. And we are so excited to learn from him the legal networking skills and strategy along with his invaluable experience. With this, I would like to hand over the stage to Sir to set the tone for the session today. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Akshata. That was a really beautiful introduction and more than what I deserve, I believe. But thank you so much nonetheless. And it's true, I have recently joined Legal Lock and I have got to interact with such brilliant young legal minds. It's been a privilege. Um, so now starting off with the session, I believe since I have it's been a delayed a bit, but anyways, I have to give a tone for the session. So when I'll just start with a short background of how I came across the topic of doing a session on legal networking specifically and how to mastering it. So Parth approached me and said, "Ki sir, we want you to do just the session on networking skills and how do legal young minds who are first generation lawyers not having any legal background penetrate into the bigger backdoors of the legal world." So uh, I came across the topic as really interesting because in my first year of law school, I did not have a clue about what it means to network. I did not know what it means to be a well networked professional. I did not know what it means to, go to conferences, attend webinars, take notes, interact with senior advocates, interact with judges, understand how the system works, and what is the need for it. I'm a first year student in the college. I'm just around to take a break from my hectic board exam. That's what was on my mind the whole time. But as you transition and you come into the second year of law school, you realize that you have to keep pace with how the curriculum works. And even before you know, you're already opening up CRPC and IPC and other criminal law bare acts and being told to read them through. And when you do, you realize, okay, I really want to work with the stalwarts of legal industry like Mr. Rohatgi or Mr. Singhvi or say Mr. Harish Salve. I have heard Mr. Luthra does a lot of criminal work. And names go around and you feel like you also want to be one of them one day. And that's what actually started me on my journey to legal networking. I thought, hey, what is the harm of going across and attending a session on the white collar crimes and how they operate, what is the legal procedure behind it from Miss Geeta Luthra. That's my first conference, honestly. It was an online conference. WIPS, my alma mater, literally, organized that one for us, and it was really great. I got to hear a lot of tips from her about how a legal professional should behave. And I had not done an internship in my second year of law school. I started doing proper internships by the end of it. She told us about the intricacies involving white collar crimes. She also focused about the fact why there are separate offenses, how they are caught into the loop of, money laundering. What is the requirement of a separate legislation for money laundering? Why is there agencies which are separate? So I was scared. I was really scared, thinking that I should ask such a legal stalwart to, entertain me, my doubts and my questions, right? But you realize over a period of time that if you don't ask the why now, you might never get a chance. That's how the legal world works. So I, you know, picked up my courage and asked the ma'am, my name is Kanishk, and I'm a student of Whips, and I really want to ask a certain question as to how were you able to get across such big cases, and how were you able to, entertain such big clients? Was it easy? How did you go about it? What was your first experience that made you so capable of handling such big stuff? And guys, that was a big dare for me at that point of time. So Miss Luthra, with her eloquence, with her grace, with her subtle tone, told me that, young man, everyone in their life gets an opportunity to present themselves, to show how capable they are, to bring out the litigator in them. And for that opportunity, you must prepare as you are doing now throughout the course of your law school. The Bear Act, the Bear Text, they'll just tell you what the theoretical aspect of it is. Go to the courtrooms, talk to the faces you see there, go to the seminars, talk to the people you meet there. Every single person in the industry is your valuable ally. And that, my friends, is the thrust of how you put yourself out in the legal field. You have to be, at one point of time, open to the idea that people know more than you, people are better than you, and you are here to learn. You are here to participate in the learning process. You are trying to fit into this place, but at the same time, what you will take away from here is far more valuable: bonds, people, friendships, and connections which will last you a lifetime. As an example, uh, I'll just tell you how law students operate. That's what I have done in my years of law school. I initially went to litigating chambers. I went with Mr. Amit Prasad. He's a special public prosecutor, Delhi Police. I then went on to Mr. Kush Chaturvedi. He's an advocate on record for the Supreme Court of India, panel counsel for the CCI, and separate other panels that I'm not so sure about, because he's 15, 10, 20 years into practice, quite a senior now. I think then I went on to do my internship under Mr. Tandon, Kunal Tandon. That was my first real experience of how litigation is so difficult, how you have to apply your brains, and what exactly is different about reading a textbook and reading a Bear Act and applying it into the real case scenario. I interacted with a senior associate, and obviously now a good friend of mine, Ms. Hita Sharma. She has been a senior who has guided me like anything. Like, she told me what my weak points were. I worked with her for a good period of time, 2 months, and she told me that, I asked her actually. I asked her, ma'am, at the end of my internship, I asked her, ma'am, I would like some feedback on what work I did. I really want to improve. I don't know whether I'll be capable enough to catch up to all those NLU graduates, to all those big tier one law firm associates. I'm just hoping that I'll land up somewhere. And mind you, those were some of my words, which even I had kept quite buried inside me, because I was quite fearful of accepting the fact that, yes, I am a little behind, and yes, I have to catch up. And I did not know how to cover up that gap. And I think a lot of people have that in their mind. Someday at the end of the day, all tired, they have that question, how will I catch up? And her answer stays with me still now. She told me, Kanishk, you have quite the capabilities to learn. You have the faculties to process the legal propositions. And in my experience, you are no less or no more than the ones who have graduated law school from an NLU or the ones who are working in tier one firms. The only difference is, which really matters in the legal profession, is your mindset. Are you here to go through the grind and become something more? Or are you here right now to just be fearful and not take a step forward? This, my friend, is your platform to grow. Ask me what you want to ask me, make stupid mistakes and learn from them. That's how you'll grow. There's no shortcut, there is no back door. You have to go through it and grow through it. It might sound filmish, it might sound dramatic, but see, that's what she told me. And today, when I see in hindsight, I think she was correct. She was completely correct. You don't have a lot of options. You don't get opportunities again and again. So the ones you get, make full efforts that you are able to network with people, go out to them, talk to them, tell them your fears about, hey, I think, and because not because they will not judge you, but because of the fact they exactly know. People know on the face of it what you are facing. Your seniors have went through that same exact grind. And sometime they are trying to look for in a law student what they did not have at that time, not the faculties to process a legal proposition, or maybe not the ability to grow, but rather they're just looking for the willingness to learn. Someone who is able to come forward, say, I am not at that stage right now. I want to grow up. I want to learn. I am stupid. I'll make this mistake. Please correct me. They are looking for someone who can be perfect, but they are not looking for someone who is already perfect. They're looking for someone who has the space to improve, someone who is willing to learn. So that's, my friend, one of the first thing that you have to do. Be open to the idea that growth is a big possibility in the legal profession. It's a game of long odds. It's not a 90 minutes football match. It's not a 2020. It's a 50. It's a big test cricket match that you have to go through if you want to be successful one day. What I so this is one of the things that I learned from my seniors that I can share with you. But what is even more important, as there are a lot of law students here, maybe some young professionals are here, they want to understand how they want to go through things, grow through things. First, how to get internships. That's what I'm going to touch about. That's the topic I'm going to touch right now and talk about it, because I know a lot of law students are here. Sir, we want to learn how to get into good law firms. Boss, it is very important to learn how to present yourself before getting into any place. You have to learn how to represent yourself. A tidy person, a well done person, and a person who is not looking after himself or herself. There's a big difference, and the law firms spot that immediately. Your senior partner does not look at the quality of your draft until it's gone through a lot of refinement and going through a lot of senior associates, principal associates. But definitely, he'll see on day one only how are your nails done, how are your haircut done, how you are dressing up yourself. Are you tidy or not? Are your shoes polished or not? Are you not wearing and going around in some kind of funny dress in the court? That's what a lot of senior partners see, because they don't want a person who is not willing to, even work on him or herself. And that's very apparent from first look. If you're not well done and your outlook is very bad, first impression is the last impression in the law firm area. For internships, be very mindful of how you represent yourself. What I'll say, what was my mantra for it was, send a well drafted email. Always cross check your email formatting, justify it, spacing, the font, get it done in the Word document. Always do your research about the law firm. What is it known for? What is it reputed for? I remember I got a internship email from one of the law students from Amit, some college. I'm not so sure, but the email specifically mentioned, "I want to intern with your regulatory team in the electricity department." I'm like, what is an electricity department, my friend? This is a law firm. This is not some kind of a government setup that you are applying in the electricity department. And she is saying at the end of it, "I'm so thankful, Risha ma'am." And I'm like, wait a minute. I think this person has sent this email to the incorrect place. And I immediately replied, I said, "I'm not Miss Risha, but I do wish you well." Before that, I pointed out to her that there is no electricity department in my firm, at least. And there, if there is in any firm, please do let me know. Because normally you have to research about the culture of a firm. A lot of firms have teams which are separately dedicated to the regulatory verticals, right? There is electricity law in that aspect, but they identify themselves as regulatory teams, right? There are teams where disputes are divided into commercial litigation and regulatory litigation. There are teams where the regulatory vertical for corporate work is separate. There are teams where banking and finance, competition law, antitrust vertical is completely different. So you are trying to get an internship in some kind of an organization. Is it not the first prerequisite 101 for you guys to go and research whether this place even has that particular thing that you're looking for? If you go into a law firm which is reputed for tax law and you want to do only commercial litigation and arbitration, then what's the point? What's the point of spending all those hours and days inside that firm? I'm not saying it will be useless. I'm saying, but that's not your game. That's not your goal. You are diverted. You give away your 2 months for something you don't even know. So therefore, you should always be mindful of the place you are applying in. Do your research. You have all the assets and resources on the websites. The firms have their own pages where they don't put out the work that they are doing, and they put out what they have done, and they will tell you who all are their partners, who all are their associates, who are the senior associates. Do your research, look them up. Who are they? You must know before applying to some place. Secondly, I think one more thing is very important that I have heard about from a lot of law students. Sir, हमें रेफरल दे दोगे? हमें रेफरल मिल जाएगा? सर, आप हमें रेफर कर देंगे? सर, आप इनको जानते हैं? तो उन सबके लिए, to all those who have called me up late at night or maybe dropped me a message, I'm so sorry, my friends. I'm not that big of a person. I definitely don't know a lot of people in this legal profession. I'm still doing networking. I'm still working my way through the whole mess of it, but that's not exactly the way. First, whenever you text a person asking him or her for a referral, please, and I implore you on this one, please do it before the clock strikes 9. At 9, it's going to be midnight after that. And a person also understands no one, entertains someone beyond a certain point. So yes, you have to be mindful of the timings. A, B, like you are, when you go into employment, you should always be mindful of the timings. If it's 10 o'clock and an associate keeps calling, you can definitely say, "Sir, I'll get the work done." Don't say no to the work, because work is some kind of is what you are here to do in the first place. But always say, "I'm not able to entertain the call at this point of time. Can I call you back earlier in the morning?" And do that. Keep your word. Call him back. That's how you go about it. Second, when you go into law firm, in a tier 1 law firm, Khaitan ho gaya, DMD ho gaya, JSA ho gaya, there are screening processes. For small firms, I never found a screening process more than shortlisting you through your CV and getting to know you on the day one. But for big tier 1 firms, because these firms require specialists, these firms require people who understand the work. So that's why you need to be mindful of how you go in front of them. I mean, if you are going in front of a partner of a competition team, read your Bear Act, Read the case laws which are coming out today. Read about the disputes or the judgments that have come out the day before. And be very clear on the basic principles. I have been killed, and I'm not kidding you, I have been killed in interviews in places I was not able to get to just because I did not get the principles correct. And it was a major learning curve for me. And I would not like to see any of you make that same mistake again. Because there are two things. It shows that you were not prepared. B, it shows that what you said on your CV was not correct. And that hurts even more than, getting it wrong, because a person who is lying on their CV cannot be trusted by anyone. So never lie on your CV, guys. That's going to be the third point. Never lie on a CV when you apply for an internship. Make your CV not more than 1.5 page, max 2 pages. Because see, at this stage, no one expects you to know this much. People expect you to be in an open mindset to work, to keep on working, to learn from it. But if you lie on your CV and you tell them something that you have not worked on, that, sir, I have worked on this also, and you get caught, your reputation goes down like anything. So never do that. And last but not the least, the interviews, right? The interviews. Oh my God. So what happens really is that the interviews catch you by the neck. Because when you are in an interview, a lot of people have seen get anxious. They said, so we are not feeling well. We are feeling a little under the weather. We are having guys. Interview is not there to grill you. Interviews are there to check your people's interaction, their people skills. A person who is able to handle anyone, anyone, is the person who is the most simple out of the lot. कुछ complicated नहीं कहना है, कुछ ऊट पटांग नहीं कहना है. If you don't know something, say no to it. Doesn't matter. Don't lie कि सर मुझे पता है. कभी भी नहीं बोलना है. And if you know something, आराम से बताओ. Answer only how much you have been asked. A lawyer's most powerful weapons are his word. If I want to tell something, I'll convey it within 2 words or 3 words. I'll not go to the fourth word. That's my worth as a lawyer, because I'm charging for each word that I'm speaking. So start doing that from here. And that's how then the law firms would also evaluate you. Ki boss, this person said what that person could not say using 10 words. He said this in 2 words only. Shouldn't we keep him or her? He'll make our life easier. That's the way. I think it's one more thing. I think that's the last of it. Then I'll move on to something else, which is more important than internships. That is your academic theoretical portions and how you should ace your pre-placements. That's one of the things I was thinking of saying. And your seminars. Yeah. So whenever you intern someplace, right, always go back to take a feedback. I have seen a lot of kids, a lot of interns not going to take feedback at all. It feels they're on a vacation here. They have done good work and they're chilling then. No, boss. Always take feedback, because there are two things. It gives you a platform to interact personally with your mentors, the one who under whose guidance you were working. Second, it gives you an insight on how and where you need to actually grow, where you need to work hard upon. If your mentor gives you any kind of tips, any kind of guidance, it is only after assessing you for a good period of time. So weigh that into account. And I personally have benefited a lot because you really used to weigh that into account. Bad is bad, good, bad, or ugly, it's fine. It's a review of how I'm performing in their organization. So take that, take the constructive bits, and moving forward, try to work on them. Now, uh, before going to seminars, pre-placements, I'd like to, very important. So for webinars and sessions that you're attending right now, or maybe a physical conferences, arbitration conferences, mediation conferences, international competition law conferences. These are the ones I have attended, or maybe a get together of lawyers, alumni meets, Oxbridge, etc., LLM conferences, etc. How do you make the most of it? Now, that's really what we are working upon right now, because I am here to tell you guys, how do you get a conversation started in places where it's very difficult? But before that, should I tell you some good places to be in? I think yes, because obviously I'm taking a session and it's my responsibility to give the best of it. So now, be very mindful. There are a lot of places where lawyers hang out. And these are not only bars. Bars are not the only places for lawyers to hang out. A lot of other places. So always try to get into seminars, moot courts, competitions where you are acting. If you're a legal professional, act as a judge. If you are a law student, act as a participant. Work hard on it. Either way, both of you, because how you assess someone or how you perform in front of someone may give a lasting impression on the third party, the practitioners who are also participating like you. And they might see, okay, this guy, he's a really good advocate. He pointed out all the nitty-gritties that are involved in this question of law. And I would really love to have this guy on the matter I'm working on. So here you get matters from here. He himself will approach you. He'll say, okay, sir, you were doing really well. The points that you made were really, really the thrust of it. Can I ask you that who were you working with? Who was your mentor? Are you open to the point of getting into a, collaboration with me for this matter? And that's how your ship sails. Second, if you're moving on, if you feel it's not exactly the opportunity to, pitch yourself across because you feel like you really don't know the law, you were just well read with the proposition, never hesitate. Never hesitate. A lawyer who hesitates will never be able to pitch him or herself across. Mark my words. Be confident in your abilities. You may not know something today, but the moment you read about it, the moment you start reading, you start preparing, you'll be the best person in the room. Always be a hard worker. Be open to the possibility of saying yes. Don't say no. Don't say no to opportunities. Say yes. Be honest. Tell them. Sir, I have never worked earlier on these kind of propositions, but I'll definitely do my best. Since you have really approached me, you have some work for me. I will be most happy to take this assignment on. I'll work on it. Be honest. I'm not saying lie. Never lie. Trust is something that cannot be broken in this profession. Right? As a law student, when you do well, when you work well, and I remember my law school days, I used to sit for hours in the night and sit for hours in the morning, eating raw coffee out of packets before arguments or before the session starts, just to keep my eyelids open. Because I knew that there is someone watching me right now. I knew this, I know that my impression, my first impression and the last impression should not be of someone who has not worked hard. I don't want to project myself as someone who doesn't even work hard. I want to be projected as I may be stupid. I may not know a lot of concepts. I may go blank at moments, but I'll never come across as someone as hardworking and not hardworking and not sincere. And that were my principles from day one. Because if boss, I'm not even willing to do that much, then how can I call myself a lawyer? But moving on, be open to the possibility of saying yes, never say no. Webinars, conferences, when there is a networking break, whenever there is a networking break, guys, move, grab a glass of water, a glass. No one says to grab alcohol. Grab a glass of water, grab water, soda. And honestly, that's what I do. I don't want to get drunk. I'm driving all the day. So I'm like, I'll just grab a glass of water, glass of soda, lime soda, and move around. Start moving around in the cohort. Start meeting people. They are valuable resources. This is the platform. This is the time to pitch yourself. Go meet them and have a happy to go face. Don't be never. Always have that smile. God has given you beautiful teeth, make use of them. And go talk. And maybe if not a collaboration, you'll go and meet some people who will start calling you up in the days to come. Always have your business card. Keep a business card handy with you. I'll just give you the reason. Yeah. See, this was formerly my business card. I used to use this one. This had the title of my company organization at the back. This had my position. I hope it's visible. Is it visible? Chakshita, is it visible? Okay. I
Yes,
think
sir, it is visible.
perfect. So this is how a business card should be. And guys, this is not only for the law professional, this is also for the law students. If you're going to any competition, any seminar, every webinar, no matter who you are, your name, face, impression, and introductions should always be perfect. That's how you grow and you prepare yourselves, right? So always carry this. Go forward with a slight touch of a hand. You can just say, "Sir, I would like to share my details. I like to connect over call over with you," or you can maybe put across. So it was very nice speaking with you. I'm just moving forward to get a glass of water. I'm just moving forward to sit down and just take notes of the session. Can you share your business card with me? I'd like to share mine. Give your business card and always take the business card. That will help you a lot. Also, these days you have your mobile phones. The mobile phones, especially the Apple ones, they have this contact details sharing feature. When you connect two Apple mobiles end to end, they'll automatically share the contact details. Make use of technology you have for better purposes other than gaming. And also, what I'll suggest, whenever you feel that you need to, because see, I have always seen people who used to be the center of attention and used to feel ki boss, how are they able to entertain so many people? And I understood one thing, and that's what my father pointed out to me, not me. He said they are more well read than you. That's why they are able to participate in each and every conversation and come out with the edge. If a person is well read, he's prepared and everything, only then he'll be able to be on the edge. Start reading your newspaper, guys. It's high time. I know your mother and father must be tagging a lot of you saying कि but हमारा बच्चा newspaper नहीं पढ़ता. And unfortunately, I would like to correct and say कि हाँ, बहुत ज़रूरी है. I started reading newspapers and I'll be honest with you guys because that's what it means to have a webinar. You open up your darkest columns of his darkest secrets and put it out in front of everyone. Maybe. So I started reading it 5 months, 6 months back. And I've developed a habit over time to every day have a glance over a newspaper, understand what is going around in the world, what legal consequences and implications it could have. That's your pot of opportunities also. That's your uh, pot of knowledge also. And that's also what sets you apart. The more you know, the better you can place it. A lot of knowledge can be processed by a brain which is well read. If someone comes on to you with 10 things and you have already went through them sometimes back, you'll able to formulate it much better than anyone else in the room. So that's one more thing. Now let's move on to your pre-placement, because I think I was already quite delayed because of some technical issues. So pre-placement, guys, see, for interns, I'll say work hard, and there is no set norm of the law firms or the chambers or the intern firm. Unfortunately, whatever I'll say, this sector is not an organized or a disorganized or unorganized sector. This is a sector which has not been classified. It, it is like a gig worker sector at times, I feel, which is not classified. No one has told you, is it unorganized or organized? So therefore, there are no laws that really help us out, especially as lawyers and law student. But again, let's come back to the point. कैसे placement करेंगे, कैसे placement होगी? कहीं हमें 15-20 हजार की नौकरी तो नहीं मिलेगी. Guys, it's not about 15-20,000. I'll be very honest with you. I'll be on two verticals on this one. Both of them are a point of view, I feel. A advocate doesn't charge for the experience or the abilities to do work for the time he spent in law school. I've never seen lawyer do that. They do it when they come out into the battlefield and start working. So that experience adds up over time, and then you are able to independently evaluate what should be a correct charge or evaluation for yourself. But that's a point of seeing it, and I don't completely agree with it. That doesn't give anyone the right to exploit anyone, especially a law professionals who are keeping juniors must keep in mind that humanizing a condition or doing things which help your juniors to perform better is not a -1, it's a +1 for you. A law firm or a law chamber which works in unity and tries to bring up its juniors and interns in a better manner, in a place where they actually feel comfortable, they see that they have the ability to grow. Even if they leave that chamber and move on to someplace else, they will come back 2 years, 3 years down in the line and give you work and trust you with their biggest clients. Because in the hours when they did not have anyone else to rely upon, you were the only one who saw them as human beings, gave them that flexibility, gave them that support in their hours of crisis. That, I think, is the way forward for the legal industry. And if you are looking for a pre-placement, instead of the money, also check upon your mentors. Law firms, tier 1 will pay you big brackets, big pay brackets, junior associate, senior associate, principal associate, counsel, partner, senior partner, equity partner. Okay, got it. You'll be paid a lot of money. You'll be able to, fill up your stomachs for the rest of your life and your families also. But is it a short journey? What you are really looking at is 25, 20 years down the line. On day one, as a junior associate, how much do you make in a law firm? It's not more than 45, 50, 55,000 if you're a fresher. If you have pre-placements from your college, do well in interviews. I already told you how to perform in an interview. Follow those and you might get into a placement with a big law firm. They might start at 1. But ask yourself, when you start working there, is this place worth staying? Not money-wise. On the basis that, are they actually looking after me or they're just looking after their own interest? Because at the end of the day, even if you don't want to be, you have earned an LLB degree. You have not earned the right to be an employee at some place. You have your own faculties, you have your own legal reasoning. A place should be able to accept that, process that, and keep you appreciate your point of view. अगर वो ये नहीं करेंगे, if they decline to do that, if they say you have to follow how we are thinking about this, we don't want to hear your opinions on it, then guys, this is not the place for you to be. And I'll please implore you, move on from that place, join a better chamber. Maybe with 10,000, 20,000 rupees less, but join that place. And obviously, a lot of people will disagree with me. And I don't say that that's wrong. I say let's agree to disagree. Maybe I am the person with the wrong perspective. Even I have a lot to see in life. But what I feel is where you are not even appreciated, your outlook about thing is not appreciated, you should not stay in that place for a lot of time. Secondly, if you join a practice, always see that it is aligning with your interest in the long term. You are not there to stay for 1 year. You are there to stay for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Learn, maybe a decade. I don't know. That's why see a place, choose a place you are interested in. That's how a pre-placement negotiation should happen. When an employer asks you, what are you looking for? Do you have some questions for us? Please ask them, sir, I am a fresher right out of the law school. I'm a person with 1 year PQE. I have developed an idea about things in a certain manner. Is the firm okay with that? Is it fine that if I project myself in this regard on some question of law or some kind of discussion, I hope I will be welcome. That's my only expectation. I feel the salary should be adequate enough to cover my expenses, to keep me up and running. I'm not expecting that I'll be on the top of the world on day one. I'm ready to go through everything. But at the end of the day, I must not feel dehumanized. That's my only concerns on any place that values me, who makes me valued as a human being, is a place I like to be in. Give your viewpoint, share it completely. I hesitated quite a few times in some of my interviews. I thought, why should I say these kind of things? But then I realized it's very essential, sir. If you don't tell them, then how will they know? And if they don't know, how will they improve upon it? Boss, the person who keeps shut at times when he needs to speak up will always suffer. And you are an advocate. You are going to speak up for the people who cannot speak up for themselves. If you are not even able to speak up for your own rights, who will trust you to speak up for this? Tell me this. Other than this, guys, I think other than this, pre-placements, we have covered sessions. Yeah, organization networking. And I think I'm going to end it on this one. When an organization expects you to network, they are not looking for people who are going to just, flaunt. People are going to give unrealistic projections, going to talk ears, not people who are just there for showing off. They are looking for people with substance. They're looking for people with a game plan. They're looking for people with an ambition. And they are really, really looking for people who are trying to invest, be a part of their venture. कोई भी आदमी आपसे आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या है वो पूछेगा, आपका इंटरेस्ट क्या है वो पूछेगा. For me as a law student, what should be my interest is the question I'm going to ask now, which I will answer should be this. Sir, I am a young law student. I see that your business, your venture, your law firm, your chamber is aligning with these notional practices or these notional values that I also find myself aligned to. And therefore, I am willing to do the hard work, willing to do the efforts to understand it better. That should be your answer on day one. Don't promise anything, but say our interests align. And move on, move forward into that organization. Understand कि boss चलता गया है. and then determine for yourself whether I want to stay here, whether I really want to be a part of it or not. That's how professionals do work. That's how you make a bigger circle. You find people whose interests align, your people, and then the game is on. I worked on a lot of big disputes, Kapoor disputes, Green Pack disputes, commercial litigation, big commercial litigation, Oscar, etc. What really kept me aligned of working those rigid days was my interest on day one that I want to be a master of commercial litigation. I want to master competition law. I want to work as a big time lawyer. And there's nothing that is going to stop me from achieving my goals. I believe that I am capable of doing great, good, big things and arguments, especially arguments, in front of the biggest courts in India, including the Honorable Supreme Court and Delhi High Court. And for that, I don't need a validation. I just need to work hard. Every day is my opportunity. And I'm going to make the most out of it. Whatever may happen. That's how you have to go about it, guys. And that's the grind and the edge of it. I think if there are any questions, you're most welcome. I think I have, comprehensively collected the process for you guys, how networking works and what can be its big impacts on your future. Are there any questions?
So I guess they don't have any questions.
That's completely fine. Thank you so much for hosting me.
Thank you. That was an absolute brilliant session, sir. We are so grateful for your time and for you sharing your intellectual expertise with us today, sir. I'm really grateful. Thank you, sir.
Likewise, Chakshita, it was an honor being on the platform and interact with people. I hope they get the most out of what I spoke today.
On behalf of the Legal Lock team, am I audible? To all, I would like to deliver the vote of thanks for Mr. Kanishk Pandey for taking out so much time for all of us, for all the participants, and for letting us, for educating us on such an important topic. Thank you, Mr. Pandey, for sharing your valuable insights and knowledge with us. Some of the best points that Sir touched was, first of all, that as law students, all of you need to be well prepared in advance. And secondly, being well read is one of the best weapons you can have in your arsenal. Being aware of what is happening in the world, not just for your own knowledge, but also for every professional opportunity that knocks at your door. That is definitely very important. And lastly, asking questions, as Mr. Pandey hinted on, it is something of the importance of which I can probably not emphasize in better words that Mr. Pandey has done. Next, I would also like to thank the organizers of the entire Legal Lock team for having this wonderful session for every participant. And lastly, a special word of appreciation to all the participants who joined us today. And yeah, I hope this webinar was something from which everyone took the 2 cents that Mr. Pandey shared. And to everyone, have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhilasha. That was too sweet. Thank you for.
Thank you, Mr. Pandey.